Hey everybody, Kyle here. Do you ever shoot a ton of photos and then realize, oh crap, I have to go through, sort, and edit a ton of photos? It can be a very daunting task if you don't have a very regimented, specific approach to it. So I'd like to show you the approach that I've come up with. I went for a spring walk with my mom and I decided to take a lot of pictures of the city. If you look here, I have, Control A, 398 photos, which means I took 199 photos. When you're doing editing, you typically want the process to go by very quickly. So I like to shoot with the combination of the RAW plus JPEG. So you have your file, which is the smallest possible resolution at the highest possible compression. So your photos work out to being about 1 megabyte each, where the corresponding RAW file, 33.4 megabytes. I typically divide the initial editing. Now, editing isn't photoshopping. Editing can also mean just deleting the bad stuff. But if you just have this giant amorphous glob and you think, I'm gonna reach in here and dig out the good bits, you're in for a world of hurt, because that's just a giant, mind-numbing, difficult task. Instead, divide it down into much smaller, more manageable chunks. So what I like to do are divide this into 3 passes that have a very specific goal in mind. The very first pass is very boring, but it's the, am I a technically competent photograph? So all I do is go through the photos, and if it's blurry, it gets deleted. If it's way under or overexposed, it gets deleted. No value judgments or aesthetic judgments whatsoever. It's purely just editing them and managing them on a purely technical basis. So let me go through that now and show you. The am I a technically competently taken photograph test is very instinctual. So for example, if I look at this photo, even though most of it's blurry, this part just seems like the right part to be in focus, so it doesn't bother me. Whereas this one, too many of these logs just seem blurry. This to me seems like a photo that should have been shot at f16. Too much of it is blurry, it's just bothering me, so it gets dumped. That's alright, that's alright, that's alright. Boring, but alright. See that? That's wrong. You don't do that. It's just my technically competent photo. Okay. If a photo is just slightly dull or has a foreground element that's awful, just anything that if I look at it and just think, ugh, delete. So, yeah. That's stage 1. Okay, you don't have to see me go through all 200 photos. Pause.